Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator. We're playing here on Pacific Inlet, doing a load of logging. For those of you who are not yet familiar with what we're doing, we are just going to, well, we're slowly working our way through, and we've got this tiny little area down here that we're slowly cutting our way through. And it's taking a long time. There are a lot of trees. We've cleared all of this. We've done well, I feel. We've done very, very well, but we've got a lot of trees left to cut. We've got an awful lot of trees left to cut. So today we're going to carry on doing that. I'm going to cut down a load of trees, and then I'm going to get the trailer hooked up. We got the auto-load logging trailer we're using now. Fed up with having to drag them all around, because quite frankly I didn't think we needed to do that for the entire series. So I would quite like to use the Kirovitz. I really like this tractor. However, it was requested that I have a look at the 300 series, and I've now actually put the mod into the game, which would be, you know, it's a good step in the right direction, I feel. So we've got that one there, which is the 362-382. That's a 62 horsepower tractor. We got that one there, 65 horsepower tractor. That goes up to 390T. Then we've got the 398-399. That's a 93 horsepower tractor. We've got this one. Excuse me, I do apologise. Right, the 383 WRC there, it's a cabless one. That's 81. And then there is this one here, the 399 Turbo. $66,000 for that one, 124 horsepower. And if you go into here, front loader, wheel setup, design. So attaches is plus front linkage on there as well. You can have front guard, you can have standard there. I'm going to say front linkage, you want to put it on there. If you're gonna do it, we may as well go big. And then the wheel setup, the stand, so that's nearly 70 grand, that one is. It's quite an expensive tractor, really. You go to this one, 48,000, we still can't quite afford that. It's a 93 horsepower tractor. Engine setup there, if you go to 399, that adds in a bit more. Puts up to 104, but that's 55 grand. Again, it's not cheap. Forestry design as well. Ooh, okay. The fact that it can have a forestry design just makes me want it even more. This one here may be more within our range. Road tyres, no, we don't want road tyres. Twin wheels and fender, twin wheels. Rear twins and fender, rear twins, no. Wide tyres, no. Narrows, narrow. Front wheel fenders, standard. Two-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. So two-wheel drive is what's on there. If we switch to standard, so it's a four-wheel drive tractor, we've got to add 8 grand to the total, which already puts it out of our price range. And then you've got design, footstep there, high line. I don't actually know what the difference is. Low profile. I don't know what the difference is between footstep, high line, and low profile. I don't know. It's not a forestry option, though. There's no forestry option, and we want to go to 390T there to 90 horsepower. That's 53 grand. That's not a cheap tractor. That's 5,700. So this one here is a 65, 71, 80, 90. So let's put it up to 53,000. Again, it's very expensive, isn't it? Very, very expensive. I don't think we can afford such things. This one here, what did this one have? This had the forestry option. Standard or forestry. And then we go there. We upgrade to standard. Two-wheel drive, I don't want road tyres. Twin wheels with the fender and the forestry design as well. Engine improvement all the way up to 104 horsepower. I like the idea of having twins, although I don't think we need the twin wheels. I think, you know, what's a PAVT rim? I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what that means. I think standard would be fine. I mean, you'd probably be alright with just a two-wheel drive. Probably be alright with that. And what's it without the improved? 93 horsepower there with no improvement. Forestry design. If we just went for a forestry design, that's 48,650, which is still more than we got now. Standard, it adds 8 grand. We could afford it. It could be pretty cool if we were to have something like that. So that's the Massey Fergusons anyway. We've got a Massey Ferguson pack that maybe we could move towards, but we can't really afford it at the moment. We can afford the Ford, which I kind of like the idea of getting the Ford because it's going to move things a little bit faster than that Valtra. The Valtra is struggling. We got to be honest, it's not the Valtra, the Valmet. It's a Valmet. It is a Valmet, not a Valtra, which, whatever it is, it's struggling, okay? It's a it's not a very strong tractor, and it's not really best suited to dragging up massive, great big trailer around. To be honest, I don't think the Massey is going to be well suited to it either. I think that the Ford TW25 would be a better fit for that particular task. So let's just run that one along there, and yeah, we're going to need to cut these in half, I think. I think just a simple chop in half on those. If we went and got the Ford, now I realise that Ford is going to be an import, isn't it? That's a European one, or an English one, I think, actually. It looks very it looks familiar. It looks very much like one that I used to drive, so I'm fairly certain that that is a British design Ford tractor that's on there. The TW25 it was. That's the one we were looking at. I think that one we can actually afford right now. And it would be quite cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're sort of now looking, we're talking in the, along the lines of getting several different tractors, which is not the most profitable thing to go and do, is it? Keep blowing your money on a new tractor. Every time you build up a little bit, you're going to spend it on another tractor. Not really the way to go. But the TW25 there, the 35, we'll remove the 35 and mudguards. Oh, there, TW35. 7,500, that's 34,500, which I can still afford. We got design without beacons, left beacon, right beacon, dual beacons. We don't need beacons where we are. Doesn't have a forestry design. You got wheel set up there. We can go with 70s, the 65s, or the defaults. The 65s are $3,000. I think we could go with those. So I think we should go with this one. We go for the TW25, and then later on, we can go with another forestry tractor. Well, maybe one of the Masseys is a forestry tractor. Failing that, we go with a different one. But again, with maybe a forestry design tractor. I quite like the idea of having a forestry design tractor to sort of do stuff with. So let's just keep chopping for a minute. We want to keep cutting some more down. So we've got a Ford over there. That one's ready to roll. It is ready to join the fleet. And that's gone the wrong way. It wasn't supposed to fall that way. Still, never mind. Let's run up along the tree here like this. There we go. And then cut it in half about there. Chop that one off. And I think if we just like chop up a whole load of trees. We'd chop up what we can here. Sort of maybe moving around the edge here as well. If I go along there. Moving in a little bit, we'll get an idea then of sort of how well we can do. I've got one right there. I'll try and take that one down. Let's cut you down that way. You should go the right direction. While that one's falling, I can go and strip the branches off of this one here. Save us a little bit of time. Although it's then likely to land on my head. That's, less sort of time saving if you get the branches landing on your head on a regular basis. You don't really want that. Take that one out there. We got that other one there beside us there. I'll quickly strip this one down through. There we go. Run up there. Is this one just got to go in half? Yeah, actually that is just one that's got to go in half. That's only a short one. So that one can cut about there, I should think. And chop you down. And then the other one, the one I'm looking at right in front of me, I think that one is actually a full-grown tree, or full-grown for this map anyway. So if we chop that one down, that's going to have to be cut into 3 pieces. That's fine, we don't mind that at all. Take you out. The next big thing, I suppose, if we're seriously considering what to buy next. So we want to be looking at this, not necessarily just the stump grinder, but we want to be looking at the, that thing that we're going to use for, like, doing all of it? I don't know if that goes behind the track. Let's have a look a minute. You got in the forestry equipment. It's in this section in here, and you zoom all the way, there we go. We got that one right there. What options? It's got skid steer, wheel loader, it does have 3-point attacher. It's got to go on the front, though, isn't it? We're going to need a tractor with front linkage. But if that could go on 3-point linkage, that go on the front, on a 3-point linkage, we literally just sort of skid out and along the ground as we go. And I think that would work quite well, actually. And then we can just sort of use that one and push it around the field. And we go and gather up some of the wood chips first in order to get ourselves a little bit of money. But I don't think we need to worry too much about the wood chips. I don't think we want to be sort of considering the wood chips too much, because, you know, if we waste too much time on the wood chips, they're not that valuable. I think we get more money by just going for the timber, gather up some of the wood chips, and then start focusing on getting the land ploughed up so that we can get it planted with grass. That's the big thing that we want to do. We want to plant all of this back again. You know, I know that we've got grass here at the moment, but we want to plant the whole lot with grass, so then we can come back over it and we can mow it. We want to get some fertilizer on it and mow it all and stuff like that, and then we'll be able to make an absolute fortune by doing bales. That's going to be the first thing that I want to do on this grass. Is I want to do bales. I want to do bales all the way across it. If I can do a load of bales on the grass, I'm thinking that would be very, very cool. So let's just chop this one here in half, like that, and then that next tree there, we want to cut that one into 3. So I'll go around the other side to do that one. Take you out, and have a little wander down here. So we want to go sort of nearish this end. This is always the least valuable part, so this is the one that I chop off nearer that end, and then the other, then this big chunk right here, we chop this in half, and in theory that's worth a big chunk more money. So we get we do want to like cut that one up a bit. Well, we want to keep those two as sort of as big as possible, really, and then we get more money for them. In theory, I don't know if this actually works in practice, but the theory is all good. I'm gonna come over to this side, lower that down a little bit, and take it in across there like that. And we've got more. Right, what have we got over that way? There's one there. I'll take that one down a minute. Crouch right down like that. The lower we keep these stumps, the better it's going to be for when we're coming around ploughing all of this up. Just make our life a little bit easier. Spin you over like that. Crouch down. Not through. There. Oop. Okay, there's one branch there that it doesn't want to... Oh, there we go. Right, I got it. There we go. And then all the way up through there. So that one is done. And then I can come on to you over here. Like that. And run down through that one. Is that got all of it? I don't know if that one did. Yeah, it did. Right, so that one there just wants to be chopped in half. And I'm pretty sure the other one wants to be chopped in half as well. These are a little bit smaller on this side. So I don't know what kind of cash situation we're going to end up with afterwards. I mean, it probably won't be too bad, because there is the odd big one in here, and there's lots of them. There is a lot of branches here, so that is going to benefit us quite a bit. We've got that dead one there. That one's coming down next. Bring you over. There. No, there we go. I want to go into there. There's one right in front of us as well. I'm going to take that one down as well. And then... I don't know how many more I'm going to cut down at the moment. We'll go and get our tractor in a minute, and we'll have a little sort of drive around and see what we can gather up. I reckon that the Ford is going to cope with picking all of this stuff up without any problems whatsoever. It's going to make life a lot easier for like picking it all up. Now, down onto there and just run up through. This is going to be the thing now. I'm felling these trees one on top of the other, so I'm going to keep getting points where it's not going to allow me to fell the branches all that easily and cleanly. There. And again there. Right, well that's all clean on that one. Come over to here. Fell you off the top there and jump up on. And I was going to check to see about like chopping the very tip off. I'm not sure if that's like really necessary or not. Let's crouch down to take those. Now, have I got any more along here? If I crouch down... run up through. I think that's actually come out alright. So I want to take off a piece up near the end, about there, I think. And then go and cut this last remaining piece in half. I'm going to measure the dead one, because I think that's a different length. And we've not had one of those before. So I'm going to actually measure that one. We do have the measuring tape mod, which is going to be quite handy. That's going to help us out. So we go to you, right over here, and you right-click, and it's left-alt right-click on there, right to the end, and then we can run all the way down here, and we can see where it is. It appears to be not where I'm facing, but where I'm stood. There's 26 meters. So there's longer. We can't just cut it in half. So it's Alt and right click. So I need to do the same again, really. We just want to, same as what we've been doing with the other ones. We just want to chop the top off, and then chop the remaining piece in half. So I'll chop the top off there, and that seems to be about half right there, I'd say. Chop you in half there. That should be sufficient. At least I'm hoping it is. There we go, we've got that bit. And then that one I've cut in half, so that one's okay. So we've got another dead one there, and I'm going to go through to that little section behind us in a minute. Take some of those. We can have several loads of timber come out of here. I got to be honest, I think we're cutting through these nearly as fast as we'd be doing it if we had a scorpion at this rate. We seem to be making some good progress. The only bit that sort of slows us down really is when we go over the logs like that. And again, I don't think it's actually slowing us down very much. If I look along the side here, I don't think I missed anything. Doesn't look like it. Just chop the tip off. Right there. Chop this one in half. And then I'm going to do that little cluster of trees over there. And then we're going to go and get our Ford. And we can start tipping these in the lake. And we have got a huge number of logs to chuck in the lake now. We're doing well. I'm very pleased with this. How much... Every time I think we're doing well, I sort of look at how much we've got left to do. It can become a bit disheartening. Let's not worry too much about what we've got left to do. Let's worry about what we've done. We've got a cluster of trees here we're going to work through a minute. And then once we've done this cluster, then we'll go and we'll start chucking a load in the lake. And we could actually... I'm wondering if we could reach the point where we'd actually be able to afford to buy a scorpion. If we were able to do that sort of before we reach about half of what's left, I think it would. I do think it would be worth the money buying a scorpion. I still think that would be worth it. It's maybe not the quickest thing to get lined up with each tree, and I am able to line these up pretty quick with a chainsaw now. And all you got to do is just roughly cut them in half. Well, cut them into three. There's another one done. I think, actually, you know, we're getting through this probably nearly as quick as we would actually do it with the scorpion. And the possibility in the future is that we don't bother selling the timber that we cut. And instead of doing it like we're doing right now, we literally just go through with a wood chipper and we just shred the whole lot straight into the ground so that we very quickly make fields. I mean, it would be faster, but I gotta be honest, I don't actually like the idea of doing it. Yeah, it's, it kind of almost defeats the object of this whole series. We're supposed to be, like, making the most of it and hacking it out the wilderness, and I don't think that you would do that. I think if you were, like, trying to make the fields, you would make the money where you could all the way through. And just going through with the, that big yellow thing, you can use that one, and you can literally just push it through, and it will cut down whole trees. It will do everything. Cut absolutely everything in your path. Just take down the entire lot without mercy. And it turns it all into wood chips, and there's none of it left whatsoever. Plows the ground as you go. You very, very quickly turn a chunk of forest. But, I don't know, it kind of seems to me to be defeating the whole point of what we're trying to achieve here. By just very quickly hammering through it. We may as well just get a map that's already got fields made out if we're going to do that. So I think that I'm going to probably say that we're not going to do that. We do at least have to cut the trees down and move them. Even if we cut them and, you know, auto-loading and stuff like that, I'm quite happy to use auto-loading, as many of you know, as you've probably figured out already, because I got the auto-load running anyway. I'm using auto-load, so if I'm using it, we'd probably consider it to be acceptable. Run up through there like that. That's cut through quite nicely. Excellent. Get that one there. Look at this pile of timber we have got. It's getting more and more impressive. The sheer quantity of timber that we've got lying on the ground here is getting more and more impressive. And I'm genuine. Well, I know that scorpion is extremely expensive. Let's have a look a minute. I think it's like 336,000, isn't it? Something equally obscene. Let's have a look. Where are you? Right, that one there is 188. It's 317,000. The Buffalo there is 221. I don't like the Buffalo. I've never liked that. I don't like the crane on it. It doesn't seem particularly strong, and I just don't like it at all. I've never, ever liked that Buffalo. I've never liked the crane for picking stuff up. I actually prefer the crane that goes with the small trailer that goes on the tractor more than I like the one on the Buffalo. The crane that goes on the small tractor actually seems stronger than the one that's on the Buffalo, which does seem a little bit odd, to be honest. The Buffalo one seems like a very weak crane arm, and it doesn't seem to pick anything up very well. I often feel that I've had more problems with that one than I have ever had with the small crane. What are we going to go with next? We'll go with this tree right here. We're getting close to what I think is probably enough trees cut down. Probably gone way past what should have been enough trees cut down, but yeah, I wanted to sort of cut out these last few over here. Let's get this one here done. And oop, there we go. Run up through there. Is that's actually I got them all. I thought I was missing a load then, but I didn't. Chop you down there. And then there's just a couple more, I think. There's those two. Well, we'll do this one over here. Get you chopped. A bit like, there we go. Take you out there. Two behind us, and I think that'll do. I think we'll call it quits. I could go sort of keep going on and on with those over there, but I won't. We'll take a break from this, and we'll pick up some logs and sell them. That would be very nice. And we can see what kind of cash we've got and what kind of things we might be able to buy next. Whether we want to go for another tractor. Well, I've gone and bought that Ford as something for towing. We've got the small Valmet for a loader tractor. That one can handle various things. The Ford is a good one to go on the trailer because it's got some brute strength about it, so it'll be able to pull the trailer without too much trouble. But we do want one with front linkage. If we're going to be able to use that grinder type thing that's going to be ploughing the ground at the same time, we're going to want something with front linkage. And that's where I'm thinking that forestry edition Massey Ferguson would come in. I think that would be quite a good addition to it all. But we'll see how much money we get from this great big pile of timber, because we may end up having enough to go and just, wander out and buy a Ponzi Scorpion. Which would be pretty cool. We could buy that. We could just then work our way through a big chunk of this map. I mean, yeah, it would be faster using the Scorpion than it would be doing this. Because once you've cut through the tree at the base, then you couple cuts and it's all done, because it automatically strips all the leaves off, which does really speed things up, doesn't it? So we cut that one through there. This is the final tree. I'm not cutting any more down for now. We go and get our brand new Ford. There we go. Down you go. One more dead tree adding to the pile. Crouch down. Run up through here. I've just got to cut this one up as well. Make it nice and easy. I'm curious what mods, the guy that made this map, I'm curious what mods he was using that he needed to make all the trees a lot lighter than normal. Does anybody know why he went through and he did this? So what mods was it he was wanting or using in order to make the trees, in order that he felt he had to make the trees so much lighter? If anybody does know about that, please let me know. I would very much like to find out about that. Let's go. We've done enough now, so there's that one. I don't want that one. It's this one right here. There we go. The TW35. Look at this beast. This is a monster of a tractor. This really is. It's an absolute beast of a tractor. Look at it. That's fantastic. Sounds awesome. It looks awesome. It really does. It doesn't have a front link option, though, and we would want front link for the other bit. But let's see how it copes with dragging a bit of stuff around, because I mean this is a strong. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I want to do this. So we'll have a look in the garage and see what we got right there. There, see that one there? 187 horsepower. That one's on lease, but that's because we don't actually have it, as technically. This one was only a 66 horsepower tractor. This one's 187 horsepower. This is a much bigger beast of a tractor. This one is. Let's bring you round like that. Bring you back in here. There we go. Steady. Like that. And oh, that is beautiful. Look at it go. That is fantastic. Okay, we'll bring this one up over here. I'm going to press the button to start the auto loading procedure. And we're going to go past this. Look at all this timber we got down here. Right. How much of this timber is it going to be able to pick up on our first pass? Apparently not very much. I thought I'd start. Did I start loading? You know, it would help if I actually set the trailer itself on auto load. I need to switch to the trailer. There. Start auto load. And, okay, that branch there was the absolute outer limit of what we can do with this trailer. I miscalculated that. I think I've miscalculated a few of these. Look at some of these are going to be a little bit long for this. I mean, it should still be alright. It should still fit. Some of these are a little bit long. I've not quite cut in the right place with some of them, I think. I think it'll be alright. I don't think we're going to have any serious problems with that. There we go. We've got some more into there. Let's bring you back round this way. And then swing you in this way in here. And you go up round the top point there. There's another one. And another one there. Couple more. Go on. We can do this now. We'll be able to do this well. There's another one and a couple more. Okay, this is a very messy load that we're pulling on at the moment. I'm confident, though, that it's going to... There we go. We got the little bits down there. That's what I wanted to just sort of move. And we got some more up there. Let's put in a bit closer. I'm going to need... Wow. See, so I've got some, like, really, really long timbers here. And I think I've actually got... Some of them are a little bit too... I've miscalculated where I was... doing the sawing and didn't quite get it right. Let's stop there, I think. So I press B to stop loading, and then I put the straps on like that, and pull you out like that. And I need to just straighten that a minute. I just need to shunt on that a little bit. There we go. And then like that. Back it round. Oh, no, too much there. There we go, and bring that one over that way. There we go, so that one keep going back, and then bring it round. Nope, too far. Don't go too far. That'll do. We can spin round now. But there is our Ford, and I'm going to bring this one round. And yes, of course, I am going to try to get a screenshot of this, because this is an absolute beast of a tractor, and we need to get this looking good, don't we? But I also... The problem with the screenshots, see, there's a thing that you got to get with the screenshots is you got to get the light on the right side as well. So not only have you got to get the light sort of on it so that you can see the light, but you've then also got to get a good shot of the tractor plus the other stuff that you want. So I could sort of do it like that. I could do it like that maybe if we would turn the wheels slightly. You see, this is the kind of trouble that I have sometimes. This is very similar to the one that I had yesterday as well. I think it'll be alright. I think we go with right there. Right, now I finished messing around with that. I'm going to bring this one over here, and we're going to go up and pull up alongside the lake. I don't know if I don't know. We checked this before, didn't we? And I don't think there's any or no noticeable real difference between price for the lake and price elsewhere. So we want to bring this one over here. Close-ish to the lake. Let's go about there, I think. And then straps can come off like that. And then we press Z to start unloading. And it starts dumping everything onto the ground down there. That's all going to start falling down. I don't know if I got it. No, I don't actually have to go out and chuck anything. So there is 25,000 that we've got now. And we started off with 7. So that's 18,000 for that load. Keep in mind that a lot of that load was actually small pieces of timber because we went around the edge and so we took like the top bits off of all the trees. So I think this next load is going to do a bit better. So I'm going to bring it into here to about there, I think. And then I'm going to press B to start loading it. And then you just start slowly moving in and gathering everything up. We got a few, like, quite expensive ones on the last lot. You know, a few of them worth over 1,000. Not that many. There's definitely room for improvement on that front. But I think this is going to do it, though. We got these bigger ones here. Look at the size of some of these. There's some serious timber in some of these. Well, there will be if we can get it to actually load onto the trailer. There we go. As you get that in the right place. See what I mean with some of these logs? This, like, it's difficult to get them to load sometimes, and if you're moving while the loading bit is actually going on, you can run to a bit of grief. Right, so we're going to have to do one more load. So if I press B to stop it loading, we put that one onto there. We go on out through, and we tip these into the lake. It's going to be our next lot. So we're at 25,500. This one feels like it's got more big pieces of timber in it. And this tractor is making short work of this. No problem with this whatsoever. But are we going to have a decent amount of cash coming back from this? This is a big thing. Is how much money are we going to get? Start unloading. Right. Are we going to get something serious from this? Are we going to get some serious money from this? I hope we do. That's gone in there. 38. 40. Nah, that's a bit more like it. We got a good 15,000 from that. Chuck you in. I think that's the last one. No more. The rest is all rolled in. 40,500. Wait a minute. Is it all gone in? I can't see if there are any logs down there. Did that last one actually make any? I think it did. I think that one was just like a couple hundred. So we got 40,000 now, so that was another 15,000. I mean, what are we? We're looking at roughly 15,000 a load, are we? Something along those lines. I hope I'm not wasting timber. I think that you can chuck the timber in by, you know, quite a long way back. So I don't think I'm losing timber off the sides. What I'm going to do with this load is I'm going to test it over on the mill itself. We'll take this little bit over there. And I mean, maybe I need to be a little bit more careful about where I'm cutting some of this. I thought I was doing alright. Seemed okay. We've got a half a load left on here. So yeah, I'll run this over to the other bit. Let's we'll stop the load and get that, and we'll take this over there because we can pull up alongside that pit there, and it should sell straight into it. Tractor's a little bit slow over the longer distance, but it's not a long enough distance to really make any difference at all. It's not going to affect us. It's not going to hurt. We got to go up against there, and then we got to unload it in over that wall. So it's not the easiest one to access, especially if we sort of run into any problems. But, I mean, we should be alright. We bring it right in tight into here like this. Bring that up there. About to that point. I'm hoping that'll be alright. I may have to try shunting. If this doesn't work, then we'll have to shunt it. I'm hoping it will. It does. Excellent. Get it just right on there. That gave me another 8,000 for that. Ooh. I cannot tell if I'm getting more from here or by chucking it into the lake. Traditionally, you get more by taking it to the actual sawmill. You do have a penalty by chucking it into the lake. Traditionally, there is a penalty for that. I don't know if there is one on this map. We'd have to sort of wait and see, find out a little bit further down the line. So if anybody does know the answer to that, then please let me know. We do have to take in mind, keep in mind that a lot of the ones that we cut up today, we had a load of these small bits. Well, not small bits like that, but no, we did have a lot of these smaller trees around the edge, and there are quite a few of them. So we keep that in mind with what we were cutting. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going around this side to see if we can get some more sort of along here. It doesn't look like we're getting any Ponzi Scorpion before we finish this section of the forest. But maybe, just maybe, after we've taken these trees out and we've ploughed this up and then we've done our cut of grass and done some baling from this and then sold the bales, the silage bales, straight over there. That's the thing that I think we're going to really make some money at. is silage bales. I can't remember, though, what they are on hard mode. And that's what we're on now. We are on hard mode because of the people over there. They're giving us poor prices because, you know, one simple mistake, which, by the way, we were insured for. That's the whole point of leasing machines, is you're insured against these things. But no, we all had to gang together because I'm the outsider and they're not. And now we're being punished because I'm an outsider and they decided they didn't like me because I went and drove their Scorpion into the lake. Well, they should have thought of that before they leased it to me. They didn't give me any tuition whatsoever. They expected me to just know how to use it. I didn't have to sign any waivers. I didn't sign anything like that to say I knew how to use it. And, nope, nothing. And then into the lake we go, and suddenly I'm public enemy number 1. It's so unfair. It really is. I feel hard done by. I absolutely feel hard done by. I feel like I've been victimized here. Let's take that one down there. I'm going to cut down a few more trees, and then we're going to call it quits for today. And then we come back tomorrow, and we will cut down a few more trees. And what have we got? We've come up to this end, right? We've made it round this. I'm going to keep cutting around the edge, and then we've got like that cluster to do in the middle. If we can get to it. Anyway, I've got... where did I just cut... Oh, there's the one that I just cut down. So we'll take that one there. And if I go over and over, and then take this up through like that. There's another dead tree there. I got one of the trees that's on its side that we'll deal with in a second. So we want to come back over this way and chop that one down there. Now, one thing I did notice, we were cutting some very long trees. We want to try and get this more in the middle, I think, which is about there-ish. It's difficult to tell. That is a difficult thing to tell, is whether or not we're actually getting these smack bang in the middle, or if we've miscalculated horribly and are not getting them in the middle at all. I think we want to go here. Now, I was told you can actually cut this quite close down to the ground, sort of as low as it will let you, and it will still, the tree will still fell. So we're going to cut that one right down there. That is very far into the ground. It's not good for our chainsaw, by the way. I will point out that that is really not good for the chainsaw to do that. That is very bad behavior when it comes to chainsaw care. You do not chainsaw into the ground like that. You just don't do it. Now, anybody that has ever used a chainsaw will be able to back me up on this. That's not the way you care for your chainsaw. You don't stick the thing right into the ground. You'd be cutting up. You don't normally cut the tree as close to the ground as I've been cutting on here. You normally cut it a bit higher up, because when the tree first starts growing, there's always the chance that there could be, it may have grown a little bit funny, and cutting it down that low, there is the distinct possibility that there could be stones that grown right into that trunk. It is a thing. It does happen. So I have got the distinct possibility that I've been chainsawing stones and stuff. And you soon find out if you are chainsawing stones, because it tends to kick up a few sparks. When you go through them, chainsaw will complain. It does complain quite bitterly when you do things like that. And then you've got to spend quite a while sharpening the chainsaw blade, or chainsaw chain. I've always called it a blade, and most people I know have always, it's always referred to as a blade, but I know just as many people on here who said, well, no, we always call it a chain, because technically it's the chain sharpening, but I think really it can be either. It's one of those things that's sort of dependent on where you're from and what you've grown up with, and I've always referred to it as the chainsaw blade is sharpening the chainsaw chain. I mean, technically the blade is the bit that guides the chain. And that's not, and you sharpen the chain, and the blade is just the guide. So you want to keep the blade and the chain oiled, but the chain is the bit that you sharpen, technically. But I generally just refer to it all as the same thing, just the chainsaw blade. I think I've actually talked about that in a previous video somewhere. I probably have. I do tend to repeat myself after a while, because I know that a lot of you like to hear stories and stuff that I tell, like for my different farming experiences, but also you do need to keep in mind that some of those farming experiences were a long time ago, and I don't have new ones to be adding to the pile, so I've only got a limited number of stories to tell, and then I mean, I try also to tell other people's stories, because I find other people's stories to be equally as fascinating, and it's always interesting to tell other people's stories. I'm going to run up through this. So if I just quickly do this one here, and then I chop this one in half, and we do the other one. We've got some here that we cut down before, when we were first, like, testing out the winch, and those are still whole. So we'll be able to cut those up into lengths, and they can be added to the pile of stuff to pick up. Let's jump up onto there, and crouch down like that. Forward a bit. There, and through here. Oh, I don't want to cut that one. Now, that's the thing. When you're cutting these, when you're cutting the thick one, you've got to crouch down in order to be able to make sure that you reach all the branches. But once you get up a little tiny bit higher, it's actually alright. You don't have to worry about it. I think I've cut all of these in the right place. One there that I want to cut about there, I think. We'll chop you down through there. And then we've got a few trees in front of us, which we'll worry about in a bit. So what do we got here? We've got... Let's cut these up a second. We've got one there that I want to cut up. That one. And then another cut beside me. There's one in front. I think there's 3 here altogether that we want to cut up. So this one here. This is a smaller one, so we want to cut this one in half. Cut that one right about there, I think. There's one behind me, which I think I also want to cut in half. There's one there. That one I need to cut into 3. I still need to cut that one again, don't I? Don't I? I think I do. Yeah. Object too heavy. Go back this way slightly. And then chop that one. So then there's another one right in front of me. But, oh no, that might be 2 cuts we got to do. 3 pieces. No, actually that's a smaller tree. That one can go right there. Take that one out. I do wonder if FS19 is going to have a thing where you've actually got to sharpen your chainsaw. Let's not say blade or chain or anything. Let's just say we've got to sharpen a chainsaw. I wonder if it would have a thing where you've got to sharpen the chainsaw, because that would be quite cool. Where you've got to stop every now and then, put the chainsaw in clamp, and you've actually got to stand there and you've got to sharpen it. That, I think, would be a very, very cool little feature. Sort of like a mini-game. Because, you know, you've got the odd little mini-game in here, haven't you? With, like, doing the rolling the silage clamp and stuff like that. Now, you could class that as a mini-game within the game. And I think sharpening your chainsaw periodically as you go along, I think that would be such an awesome thing to do. And you could have the same... You could have it like as an option, so you either got the sharpening options or not, so you've got to stop every now and then and sharpen the mower blades as well. I think that'd be absolutely brilliant. It'd be really good, like a real nod towards realism. You've got to stop and sharpen your mower blades. Usually your mower blades, well, I always found that we did them first thing in the morning, and then sometimes you'd sort of take a break mid-afternoon and have another sharpen, or replace them with fresh blades. And some people sharpen and some people just replace with fresh. It does depend on the type of mower you've got, as to whether they're just ones that you replace or they're ones that you actually sharpen. I think these days, though, most of them you quickly lever off a blade that's not looking particularly good, and you quickly replace it with another one, so you haven't really got much messing around to do. It's got a little clamp thing on it, and it's just a quick lever up and change the blade over, lever back down again, and it's that simple. It's quick, simple, painless, and you haven't got to do a load of messing around. You haven't got to actually be sharpening up blades or any nonsense like that. You can just crack right on with the work. Now, that's about all we got time for today, so we'll come back in our next episode and we'll chop a load more. We're going to be very nearly finished cutting all of these trees down by the end of tomorrow's episode. We're going to have cut down a big chunk of these at least, and we're soon... I'm hoping that by the end of next week's episodes, we will actually have done all of this, and we'll be well and truly into ploughing this whole section up. Even, we may even be well on our way to growing grass and everything, having done sowing and all sorts. But yeah, that's next week. This week, we're still going to be cutting. So in tomorrow's episode, we got more cutting to do. I don't know what else we're going to be able to buy to be able to sort of go along with this. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.